it's been business as usual. Yeah, he's been very serious all week long. But Joe, we saw DeMarco in pregame warmups. He was emotional. He was intense. He even looked to stare down his team as he was leaving the field. Normal game? Yeah, I don't think so. Joe?
Yeah, we're not buying it at all either up here. The weather is just perfect with the official start of fall coming up this week. It's 81 degrees. A little breezy through the stadium, and off we go as Parkey will kick it away. Dallas won the toss. They receive, and on the return taking a knee is Dunbar. Well, how do you think old number 9, number 8, gets along without number 88 on the outside? Yeah, you know, last year they were talking about the triplets, you know, him and Des Bryant and then DeMarco Murray, and now he comes into this game without either one of those guys. Of course, DeMarco Murray on the other side of the ball, but Des Bryant, when you talk about his production, how do you replace that? You don't. Last week, we referred to the loss in Green Bay of Jordy Nelson and how Aaron Rodgers was a type of quarterback to overcome that. I think the same can be said for Tony Romo and this Dallas offense. Starting at the 20, and they run it on the first play, and a play made. Crossing the line of scrimmage is Kendricks to bring down Joseph Randle, and a loss of 1. Some of the faces on the offense for the Dallas Cowboys. Bernardo starts at left guard. Ron Leary is out with a strained groin. It's Randle, McFadden, Dunbar, the 3 running backs, trying to pick up the slack with the departure of DeMarco Murray, and Terrence Williams on the outside, the only real down the field threat for Dallas now. Blitz was coming, and Bernardo moved early.
False start, offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
So a loss of 1 on that first carry by Randle. A loss of 5 on the false start. 2nd down and 16. You see Street, Devin Street, number 15. Only 2 career receptions. Trying to fill the void left by Des Bryant. Romo, down he goes. Brought down by Connor Barwin. Loss of 6. Well, on the outside, one-on-one, Terrence Williams and Byron Maxwell. He's going to get up and play physical with him and try to disrupt the timing. You've got Connor Barwin looping around on a stunt by the Eagles, and he has a clear path to Tony Romo. The right side of that offensive line with Zach Martin and Doug Freed did not play that twist very well. Connor Barwin led the NFC with 14.5 sacks a year ago. He's got his first, 3rd and 22. Just trying to get a little bit of room, and it's Dunbar on the toss, 4th down. And a good start for this Philadelphia defense. Joe, I think if you look back at the matchup between these two teams last year, the first game on Thanksgiving, what the Eagles did well defensively is they were able to get pressure on Tony Romo. We know what the offensive line means to this Cowboys offense, but in that matchup, they sacked him 4 times. In the loss at home here in Philadelphia, he was sacked 3 times. They start the opening possession getting pressure on him in this game. Chris Jones to punt. Good one. Sproles from about the 26. Gets around 1 and takes it to the 40. Good starting field position for Sam Bradford. The Philadelphia Eagles offense, the number 1 overall pick back in 2010 for the St. Louis Rams, and it never got going in St. Louis. And to be fair to Bradford, I think he was more a victim of what was around him than one of the reasons why that offense never got going. He had no playmakers at all on the outside, and an offensive line that saw him get hit and hit a lot. Well, he's got some playmakers here in Philadelphia, and I know he's awfully excited about the opportunity. What I found interesting was he said it's just nice during practice and then in the games to be able to talk offense with the head coach. He went to the Rams. Steve Spagnuolo was the head coach, a defensive coordinator previously. Same could be said with Jeff Fisher. Here's Murray. Good play up front. Mincy got through. Some of the offensive guys for Philadelphia. And you see that second name from the left. DeMarco Murray, 8 carries, 9 yards, 2 touchdowns, but a slow start in Atlanta Monday night. 2nd and 9. Bradford comes underneath. He's got the rookie Aguilar. And Nelson picks up 8. They're going to mark him a yard shy of a first down. Barry Church on the stop, 3rd and 1.
Well, I know DeMarco Murray in all his interviews this week, he said all the right things, said it's business as usual. We heard Aaron Andrews' report to begin this game. He wants to have a big day this afternoon.
Pass is broken up. 3rd down and 1, and they don't run it. Instead, they throw it. Tyler Patman came in front of Jordan Matthews, and it's a 3 and out despite the good starting field position for Bradford in Philadelphia.
And didn't capitalize on the good field position, and you know that's what happens at times in this Chip Kelly offense, that there's this notion that you're going to play fast. And you know, even Sam Bradford said the other day in our meeting with him, it looks really good when it's working, but when you're struggling and you're playing fast, not so good. And had an opportunity there to try to run the ball, pick up a 3rd and 1, and an incomplete pass.
This is their first.
Last week they had a big 3rd and 1 late in that game in Atlanta, and it was Ryan Matthews carrying the ball, not the defending NFL rushing champ DeMarco Murray. I don't think Chip Kelly cares, Troy, what you say about him. Certainly doesn't care about what I say about him. He doesn't care about what the Philadelphia media says about him. He is a confident 3rd-year head coach. He's changed personnel here unlike any person in charge of personnel around the NFL. But it's all on him, and this is his team. This is the way he wanted it. He traded for Sam Bradford. There's a lot on the line for Chip Kelly in 2015.
Yeah, and I think the big thing is this offseason getting more control over personnel. And even though a lot of talented guys have left the building and have gone elsewhere, what he has replaced them with, Joe, it's hard to argue with. This is a talented team, and they are deep in a lot of positions.
That was a drive that lasted less than 1 minute off the clock. And Beasley calls for the fair catch and hauls it in near the 13. 2nd possession for Tony Romo. First one didn't go so well. America's game of the week. No score. Dallas and Philly.
This game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
2nd possession for Tony Romo. Randall left side. Barwin in on the stop. Kendricks as well. A gain of 6. Cedric Thornton in there. Look at this defense. Connor Barwin, we already talked about what he did last year, 14.5 sacks. Byron Maxwell, man, he got picked on last week, Troy, in Atlanta.
Boy, he sure did. Julio Jones, he had a heck of a night against him. Slowed things down a little bit in the 2nd half, but not the way he wanted to make his debut either. And they're certainly expecting a lot more. There's not a Julio Jones on the field for the Cowboys today, at least now that Des Bryant's not playing.
2nd down and 4, and the play is made. First hit in the backfield by Benny Logan, a gain of 2, 3rd and short coming up. And we've seen Joseph Randall. Benny Logan shaking his head. You're not taking it through here. 3rd and 2.
Well, you look at him, the Cowboys clearly want to run the football, but last year, DeMarco Murray only had 4 games all season where he didn't rush for 100 yards. 2 of those 4 games were against the Eagles. They are stout. Their front 7 is highly respected by this Cowboys offense, and you wouldn't anticipate that they're going to run the ball with a lot of efficiency here in this game.
On 3rd down, pass is caught, tackle is made, and short of a first down is Cole Beasley. Good work by Byron Maxwell as he got on Beasley right away. It's 4th down, another 3 and out.
Yeah, and Bill Davis has got to be awfully happy about this, because he said the real key in this game is 3rd downs and handling Jason Witten and Cole Beasley, that inside game with Des Bryant being out of the lineup. And so the first time they're able to throw it on 3rd down, they complete the pass to Beasley, but just outstanding coverage to keep him short of the first down.
good punt. Really good punt. He keeps it away from Darren Sproles. Well, we haven't seen much yet, have we? No offense to speak of. Good start for that Philly defense. No score.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Second possession for Sam Bradford and the Eagles. No score. Handoff is to Murray. And DeMarco Murray is out to the 21, picks up 3. Anthony Hitchens on the stop. Defensively, we highlight these players. Maybe nobody more important than Sean Lee, who missed all of last year with a torn ACL, came back in a big way last week against the Giants. Playing a weak side linebacker, this throw just got away. Crowd looking for a flag, and they get it about 20 minutes after the play. Boy, that was a late flag that came in. There was contact. I wonder if the pass was catchable.
Yeah, I would think they'd pick that flag up, Joe. That ball was pretty high.
Pass interference. Defense, number 27. The ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
It's against J.J. Wilcox, but on this windy day, that ball just took off out of the hand of Sam Bradford.
There was a little bit of pressure in the pocket. I couldn't tell. It didn't look initially like the ball was deflected, but the way that it came out, it might have been.
He was. His arm was hit.
It sure was hit as he's coming through, and that's why the ball sailed on him like it did.
That's why that ball took off. Didn't look catchable. They said 27. It was Morris Claiborne who was guilty of the foul, and now first down for Philadelphia as they get it by penalty, and Ryan Matthews takes over. Instead it's Sproles, and he's wrapped up by Lee. Sean Lee, such a good young linebacker, Troy, that just had a terrible time staying healthy.
Boy, that's the truth, Joe. This guy is a really talented player, and he's one of those rare defensive guys that is a true playmaker. I mean, he's always around the football. He's always there to pick up a fumble or step in front of a receiver. And the problem for him, unfortunately, for Cowboys, is that he has not been able to stay healthy, and he knows that somehow he's got to find a way to stay on the field.
Second down and 14. Bradford looking for somewhere to go. He finds Murray, and DeMarco Murray goes around Claiborne and turns it into a 6-yard gain as Sean Lee is out there for the stop. 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, the Cowboys are predominantly a man coverage team, and that's what the Eagles expect. On that play, however, they drop into zone, and so some of the routes that you're expecting to have some good opportunities on, the Cowboys with their linebackers were able to get underneath those throws.
So far, the Eagles are 3 out of 13 on 3rd down to start the year. Bradford throws. Pass is bobbled and dropped by Jordan Matthews. And it was a pass that he didn't catch at the end of the game on Monday night that turned into the game-sealing interception. He was maybe, Troy, a yard shy of first down yardage. But if he catches that, he's got a shot at picking up a fresh set.
Yeah, I think if he catches that ball, he probably is able to pick up the first down and one that he typically catches. I know he missed the one last week, but he's more sure-handed than that.
Beasley, fair catch at the 20. No offense yet. Good work by each defense. Dallas has it 3rd time. No score.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. And by DraftKings. Free 1-week fantasy football at DraftKings.com.
America's Game of the Week. That means we're playing late. Early game headliners. Matt Jones sharing time with Alfred Morris with the Redskins. Look at what he did today against the Rams. Adrian Peterson, 31 touches this week, different than last week against San Francisco, and San Francisco got rocked by the Steelers. Antonio Brown, a big part of that. 9 catches, 195 yards, and a touchdown. Here's Terrence Williams, and the first down for the Dallas Cowboys. A nice catch and run after the catch by Williams. Good throw by Romo.
Right there in the seam, in front of Byron Maxwell. We talked about the tough night that he had on Monday night against the Falcons, and a lot of those big plays were the deep crossing routes when the Eagles were in man coverage. What I found interesting about that game is that his former defensive coordinator in Seattle, Dan Quinn, now the head coach at Atlanta, who certainly is aware of Byron Maxwell. He's the guy he decided to target in the passing game in that game Monday night.
Here's a handoff to Randall. Bounced off one tackler and picks up 4. Benny Logan is a player that missed early. Yeah, I mean, the question for Byron Maxwell is he a great corner, or was he a good corner in a great defense and a great secondary? And well, we'll find out here in 2015. They're paying him like a great corner. Second and 6. Play action from Romo. That was going to be a key for him today, and it turns into another first down. It's Joseph Randall. Troy, the Cowboys, for the first time in 92 games, started a game with back-to-back 3-and-outs, and now they're on a bit of a roll.
Well, Byron Maxwell, he's going to carry Terrence Williams on the out route, and so by doing that, it opens up that flat. If he's going to be in man on the outside, somebody then has to be in man coverage on Joseph Randall, and just not good coverage. They vacate a zone, and it's an easy pitch and catch for Romo.
On Philadelphia's side of the 50. Hand off to Randall, trying to get him rolling. A nice gain on first down of 5. It was Randall who in late May was quoted as saying, with regard to DeMarco Murray, who he's now facing off against today, he had a good year last year, and I got to sit back and watch, and I felt like there was a lot of meat left on the bone. And he's talking about a guy who rushed for 1,845 yards, and that raised some eyebrows, certainly around the league and especially here in Philadelphia.
Well, Jason Garrett said last week he thought that Joseph Randall could have run through some arm tackles that he failed to, and I said, so what you're telling me is he left a little meat on the bone last week. I don't think head coach Jason Garrett saw any humor in this.
Here's Randall again, a little stutter step, and he's got a first down. And one thing to point out, Troy, is that Lel Collins has taken over at left guard for Mackenzie Bernardo. He was a college free agent who slipped in the draft. Big player, and he's now in there. They're trying to see what he can do at guard.
Yeah, you look at this draft by the Dallas Cowboys, and they picked up 3 first-round talents. They got Byron Jones in the first round, Randy Gregory, who had first-round grades on him, they picked up in the second, and then, of course, Lel Collins, who was signed as a free agent, now in at left guard.
Good drive here for Dallas, first down. This is Williams, good throw and catch. And Terrence Williams getting his opportunity with the injury to Des Bryant, good for 19, working on Maxwell.
Tony knows what he's going to get against the Eagles. They don't not vary the coverage all that often. A lot of one-on-one outside, and so, as you pointed out, Joe, they're going to find out about Byron Maxwell. They're going to find out about Nolan Carroll as well, because they're not going to get a lot of help. And for a guy who has been paid a lot, both the Falcons and now in the early going by the Cowboys, they have gone after Maxwell.
On first down with Williams on the sideline, here's Randall. Inches inside the 15-yard line as we're under 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter. A gain of 3, Brandon Graham on the tackle for Philly.
So you look at this drive, and 7 plays, and right now over 4 minutes and counting. And last week, to open up that game against the Giants, they took 11 minutes off the clock. And as fast as the Eagles like to play offensively and tire out a defense, this goes a long way in helping your defense recover as they move through the game if they're able to control the clock.
Second down, Romo protected. Has his tight end Escobar for a gain to the 1.5-yard line. The knee went down. D'Amico Ryans made the stop. Escobar with a lunge to the end zone, but the knee hit first and goal.
Well, Escobar, he just comes off the ball and runs a crossing route, and nobody picks him up when he crosses. D'Amico doesn't see him until he's well past him.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, it looks to me like it's a score.
Garrett's got the red flag in his hand. Let's see, knee is down now. And that's going to be challenged by Jason Garrett. And on that first look, it looks to be a good challenge. Jason Garrett, who is in his 5th full year as head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. It all came together last year. Let's take another look.
Dallas is challenging the ruling on the field of the line to gain short of the goal line.
It's not just the knee. You have to take into consideration where the shin is as well. Going to be interesting to get the call. We'll have it when we come back. Well, we've been checking with our security blanket, Mike Pereira, back in LA. He thinks it's too close to call to overturn the call. Here's the call. Tony Corrente will give it to us. Is it a touchdown or first and goal?
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field will stand the runner short of the goal line. Dallas will be charged with their first timeout.
So Escobar is held out of the end zone. It was D'Amico Ryans who for the moment saved the touchdown, and with this stout defensive front, who knows what that saves. We'll see if Dallas can pound it in, if Philadelphia can keep him out.
Well, I would expect the Cowboys to run it here on first down and just make a statement with this offensive line, and that they've got the confidence that down here with a foot to go that they can punch it across the goal line.
Extra offensive lineman Charles Brown in there for Dallas. Randall left side. Doesn't get it. Great work by Bo Allen. The second-year player from Wisconsin, number 94, got through there and hit him first.
An outstanding job of penetration. You see Lel Collins, the left guard, he gets knocked back. That gives Randall, then he's got to try to cut back, and there's just nowhere for him to go. Just an excellent job down here on the goal line by this defensive front of the Philadelphia Eagles.
They lost 2 yards, second and goal. Now 3 tight ends in there for Dallas. Pass is incomplete for Gavin Escobar.
And this is where they missed Dez Bryant. How many times do you see Dez split out wide like that and throw the back shoulder fade? And he's difficult to handle. And he's got a long wingspan and able to make a lot of these types of catches. They try to come to Gavin Escobar. He's a red zone threat as well because of his size, but he's no Dez Bryant. And these two have not thrown those kinds of passes the way he and 88 have. And now it's a big third down.
Play action. It is broken up by Ryans. Pass intended for Witten. And it was Ryans who saved the touchdown with a tackle of Escobar, and Dallas will attempt the field goal. What a stand.
Well, Witten was open so quickly off the ball that if Romo had not been running play action, he just pulls up and gets the ball to him right now. But off the play action fake, he tries to get it out as quickly as he can. He doesn't drive the ball the way that he wanted to, and they were able to recover and make a play on that ball. But Witten had about 5 steps initially off the ball.
20-yard attempt for one of the best in the game, and Bailey knocks it through. But how about Philadelphia's defense? Good drive by Dallas ends in a field goal, and it was the defense stepping up. That was first down. Here's second down for Escobar. Third down for Witten. Ryan's a big part of it. 3-0. Dallas on top on America's Game of the Week. Dallas had 5 first downs on that drive. It results in 3 points, 12-play drive covering 79 yards. Cowboys had 3 5+ minute scoring drives last week against the Giants. This one 6:04. Escobar came within a shin, touching down on the grass of scoring the first touchdown of the day. Great work by Philadelphia's defense. Bradford and company will start at the 20, down by 3. October means baseball, and FS1 continues to be your home for postseason action with the American League Division and Championship Series. And this is going to be one fun year of playoff baseball in the American League and the National League. It is just wide open. It all begins October 8th on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. And here's the reaction when Witten and company got back to the bench as they were held out of the end zone, and D'Amico Ryans a couple of plays defensively to make that a reality. Starting at the 20, down by 3. Here's Murray. Not much. McLean was in there. Hitchens as well. They tripped him up. A gain of 2.
Well, no surprise by Philadelphia coming into this game trying to get DeMarco Murray running the football. The Cowboys expect to see a lot of him. So far they've done a pretty good job.
Here he is again, and Lee makes the play. And so far nothing from DeMarco Murray facing his old teammates. Barry Church in there as well, a loss of 2. And so far the Eagles with their 3rd possession now. They've run 9 plays for under 20 yards and have only 1 first down that came on a penalty.
Well, I know the thought coming into this game, Joe, was that they would work the running backs and kind of the tight end combinations. I spoke. Rod Marinelli's changed things up a little bit. He's played some zone coverages, but they haven't been able to work those combinations that they had really hoped to within the passing game. Haven't been able to get the running game going either.
3rd down and 10. This one is caught and now dropped. Knocked out, and it was Patman who made the play as Miles Austin could not secure the catch, and Patman just simply knocked it out of his hands.
Really an outstanding job by Tyler Patman, because Miles Austin initially he has the ball, and right there he goes after it when he's trying to bring it in and is able to knock it loose. And I know Tyler Patman, he's been relied on a little bit more with the injury to Orlando Scandrick. He came on last season. He's been playing well there in that role.
Beasley with a chance to return it. Penalty flag is thrown on the play. 57-yard punt, nothing on the return, and we'll check the flag as the Cowboys get it back. So far, only 1 first down for the Eagles offensively, coming on a penalty.
Kick, holding, receiving team number 39. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So it's a hold against Dallas that will cost some field position, and we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. I'm Joe Buck along with Troy Aikman. What have we seen so far besides really not anything offensively from the Eagles?
Yeah, they just haven't been able to get anything going, and now the defense is back out on the field. And then in the first quarter, the Eagles have had the ball just 3.5 minutes. Of course, that's pretty typical, for this Eagles offense, but generally they're moving the ball and they're scoring points at a very quick rate. They just have not been able to get on track. They haven't gotten the running game going like they had anticipated, and more importantly, they have not really gotten the high percentage passing going that was so effective last week on Monday night.
Bernardo back in there at left guard for Collins, and McFadden gets his first carry. He's brought up and brought down by Jenkins in the backfield, and that'll do it for quarter number 1. This Eagles defense has had no rest. They're used to that with the pace that their offense puts up there. But right now, after 1, it's 3-0 Dallas. Back after this from your local Fox station. Nice day in Philadelphia for America's Game of the Week. This great rivalry between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Not a good start for Chip Kelly's offense. The defense holding Dallas out of the end zone the last time they had it. 2nd down and 11 as we start the 2nd quarter. Pass caught. Devin Street left wide open as he drove Nolan Carroll back, stopped and picks up 18 yards, and that's just his 3rd career catch, 1st of the year.
Devin Street is really not so much an unknown, but is still a developing player. With Tony Romo, we talked about him, and obviously his role increases with Des Bryant going down. But how consistently, when teams come up and really press him, that time Nolan Carroll, he played soft coverage and gave him an easy reception, but when he's challenged one-on-one, well, the mark of a good receiver is can you beat that, and that's what he still has to prove.
Back to the ground game, it's McFadden. Good play by Fletcher Cox. Troy says Des Bryant. Aaron wants to talk about Des Bryant. Aaron.
Yeah, there were reports this morning from the NFL Network that Des Bryant may now be out for 10 to 12 weeks, Joe, instead of the 4 to 6 that was originally reported. It was reported this morning that he actually needed a bone graft when he had surgery earlier last week to put that screw in. I did have a chance to speak with Executive Vice President Stephen Jones about it. He said the reports are accurate about needing a bone graft. He said never once were the Cowboys hiding that from the media. But he said what is inaccurate is the 10 to 12 weeks. Simply, Dallas does not know. It's a week-to-week thing on when Dez will be back.
Here's McFadden underneath. Thanks, Aaron. And Darren McFadden lowers his head and takes it to the 45 as he ran through Kendricks.
This is where Tony Romo has been so effective, not just last year, but last week as well. In that win last week against the Giants, not one ball was attempted over 20 yards in the air. And the reason is that Romo's gotten very patient at getting the ball down the field and checking the ball when he doesn't have anything. And that time, even in 2nd and long, come underneath to his backs. It was highly effective last week, and a nice gain for a first down on that play.
3 tight ends in there for Dallas. Play action. Romo comes to the rookie. That's Swain. And Jeff Swain is wrapped up immediately by Malcolm Jenkins. No gain.
Well, this is a game of matchups, and I know that the Eagles are trying to match up with the offensive players that the Cowboys possess, and Cole Beasley is one of those challenges, as is Jason Witten. And so I know that when it comes to Witten, they want to get Malcolm Jenkins on him. And Cole Beasley, they think Walter Thurman is a good matchup when he's in the game in the slot position, but they can create some challenges even without Dez and having to focus on those outside receivers.
The newcomer Bryce Butler at the bottom of the screen. Romo had to tell him where to go out of the huddle. And Romo just gets shoved down. Cedric Thornton made the play. That was just 2 hands to the chest and take a seat. 3rd down.
Well, Doug Free, the right tackle, he just sets inside hard and really gives Thornton a pretty good lane. And Romo's trying to get the ball out quickly, doesn't like it. Off balance, and I don't know that you'll get an easier sack than what Thornton just got.
3rd down and 17. Penalty flags fly. Play clock was at 0. And it is delay of game.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
I want to pick up on what you said a moment ago. Tony Romo really is a different quarterback than 2 years ago. He proved it last year. He's stuck with a lot of running plays. He has that good offensive line. He's not looking to run. He extends plays, but he's so dangerous on the move.
Well, he's gotten patient. He knows that he doesn't have to force throws. More importantly, he knows that he doesn't have to make every play, and he can let those guys around him do their jobs as well. And of course, he was very successful last year with that approach.
Here's McFadden. He's got a mile to go and wrapped up at the 41. Hendricks on the tackle, a gain of 7. It's 4th down.
I think that's a good example of it right there, Joe. It's 3rd and long. The likelihood of being able to convert that isn't good. There was probably a time in Romo's career where he would try to make a throw and pick up the first, and now he realizes, hey, it's okay to check it down. And like I said last week, that was really masterful work on his part when he didn't have things down the field coming underneath and letting the backs and letting Cole Beasley and Witten. Those combinations beat a defense.
Jones has had a couple of really good punts, and here's another for a fair catch. Inches inside the 15-yard line by Sproles. Eagles get it back. They're looking for something offensively down 3.
Today's game is sponsored by Nissan, innovation that excites, and by Burger King. Try our Oreo Red Velvet Shake. Now you can have your cake and drink it too.
Time for the Eagles to kick it into gear offensively. They start this drive down 3 at their own 15. The time of possession. Philly's defense has got to be worn out. No traction yet for Sam Bradford and Philly's offense. Play action. Sproles out of the backfield. Can't get around Sean Lee. Gain of 2. Morris Claiborne out there as well. And even last week, Troy, we didn't see anything down the field from the Philadelphia Eagles and Sam Bradford. He didn't throw one pass, 21 air yards or more all week last week, and everything's so close to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they've attempted a few things, on the outside. They've failed to convert.
Here's Matthews. They're doing nothing. Gain of 1.
But right now, this defensive front is just beating the offensive line. I know some changes took place from where they were a year ago. They let Evan Mathis go from the left guard position, a Pro Bowl player, and then, of course, Todd Harrimans, who played right guard. So new guys in those positions, and they did not run the ball well last week, have not been able to this week. Certainly, that's a big part. That is the biggest part of what Chip Kelly wants to do offensively.
3rd down and 7. Bradford throws and misses his target. Incomplete. It's another 3 and out, and this crowd is restless. Zach Ertz, the intended target, and that's now 4 possessions, 3 and outs for Philadelphia.
Well, they got the man coverage that they were anticipating, but just outstanding work by this Cowboys secondary. There was really nowhere for Sam Bradford to throw the football. They had everybody covered up, and another 3 and out.
Donnie Jones hits it, fair catch, and now Beasley gets away. Takes a Philadelphia bounce near the 28, and that's where it's tapped by the Eagles. Another possession, Dallas in a 3-point game. Second level stuff in this rivalry. Food. You got Tex-Mex against the cheesesteak. TV, it's Dallas against It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. One has big oil, the other has a big bell. And it's America's team against the birthplace of America for the 113th time, the Cowboys and the Eagles.
You pulled that together.
I didn't have anything to do with it. All I did was read it. It's the mind of Jake Jolivet. And that was ugly. False start.
False start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Since the league went to a 16-game schedule in 1978, Dallas has 37 wins in this rivalry. Philadelphia has 36. I don't know if you're aware of this, but the visiting team has won 4 straight. This rivalry, the Cowboys won the last 3 games they played here in Philadelphia as they lead here by 3.
Last year, the Eagles were in full command of the division once they beat Dallas on Thanksgiving in Dallas and just could not close the deal.
Here's Randall on a toss. Nowhere to go, and turned that into something. He went around Brandon Graham, picked up 3. Second down.
That's an excellent job of finishing a run by Joseph Randall. And you know, when he's had his opportunities in his first couple of years, he's really maximized them. I mean, he has made plays on the limited attempts that he has had, but when you become the feature guy, it is entirely different. When you have to do it play in and play out, week in and week out, it's hard. And the Cowboys think he can do it, but until you do it, you just don't know.
Second down and 12. Romo has to shift, throws high and off the hands of Terrence Williams. Had him. Throw a bit high. Williams went up to get it. Couldn't make the catch, covered by Maxwell as they go after number 31 again.
Yeah, it was pretty good coverage this time by Byron Maxwell. You see the jostling taking place off the line of scrimmage. I think I talked about Bill Davis, the defensive coordinator. They play their style. And these corners, sometimes, you know, you're in no man's land and you're not going to get help. And when you're having nights like Byron Maxwell had last Monday night, it's a lonely feeling because you're not going to get help from upstairs in the booth by your defensive coordinator.
Penalty flag on the play. Here's Williams. What a catch for a first down, but a flag is down as Williams stepped right in front of Nolan Carroll. I mean, that was impressive by number 83. Good for 15 on 3rd and 12.
Offense, number 77 was not on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
So they get Tyron Smith for not being up on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and they may have warned him already once. They usually do, and the helmet has to break the belt buckle of the center.
It's a 6th Dallas penalty here in the first half, with the 3rd on the offensive line.
It's not a good angle to look at it. You got to look at it down the line of scrimmage, but that's why they called him. He was off the ball too much. His helmet apparently was not breaking the center of Travis Frederick's belt buckle, and he got the penalty.
3rd down and 17 now. Here's Witten underneath. He won't get it. Crosses the 30. Kiko Alonso, who the Eagles got from Buffalo in the LaShawn McCoy trade, is there to make the stop. A gain of 10. That's the 8th different receiver that Romo has found in this opening half.
How about that interception that Kiko Alonso had last Monday night? I mean, you want to talk about Odell Beckham's catch, which was miraculous. For a linebacker, I'll put it up against that catch any day. It was terrific.
Chris Jones and Donnie Jones have been busy, the 2 punters. Another fair catch called for by Sproles. At the 26, a punt of 44 yards, no return. Philadelphia has it. Do they have any offense to show in this first half down 3?
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football.
So far, just 3 points on the board, and the Eagles have run it 6 times in this opening half, and only 2 of the plays have gained positive yardage. Bradford started slow in the first half last week. Not this slow. 3 for 7 for 17 yards in the home opener. That one is caught. Short gain. Barry Church on the tackle. That went right through the hands. I think it was Mincy. Zach Ertz makes the catch. And everything is right around the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 8, just a gain of 2.
And Jordan Matthews, who had 10 receptions last week, has not gotten a ball yet here in this game.
Bradford stumbles on his way back to Murray, and he's wrapped up in the backfield by Sean Lee. A loss of 3, 3rd and 11 coming up.
Well, Sam tries coming out from underneath center. He gets stepped on, and that slows things up a little bit. But because of this scheme that Rod Marinelli runs defensively for the Cowboys, it frees up Sean Lee as the outside linebacker a lot without blockers on him, and he got a free run that time on DeMarco Murray, and they've just done a great job of bottling everything up and not giving any of these backs anywhere to go with the ball.
The Eagles need a conversion here on 3rd and 11. They have blocking, but a flag flies. It's Sproles, and he's got a first down. But a flag is down on the play. Good play call. It was there, but a penalty called.
Pass interference, offense, number 86. 10-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
Against Zach Ertz, and that's the first penalty called against the Eagles in this game.
Well, Zach Ertz is right here at the tight end position, and it looked like he was trying to, run across. Well, I think if he runs that as though he's running a route, Joe, he protects himself. He's obviously trying to pick the linebacker who was in the man coverage that was on Sproles. They got him for it. You don't see that called very often, that close in-line play and that quickly off the line of scrimmage.
Brings up 3rd and 21. Another short throw. It's Sproles, and he hops out of bounds near the 20.
I'm not sure that the Eagles offense are going to give them any Gatorade at halftime. They haven't even worked up a sweat. I mean, they haven't been on the field at all. They've been unable to get anything going. Talked about it a little bit earlier. They have attempted a few shots down the field on the outside to the receivers. They've had the screens, they've had the swing passes, but they haven't worked the inside middle of the field at all here in this first half.
This is the 9th punt of the game. We have only 8 first downs in the game so far and 3 points. Beasley gets away from Burton. Flags are down on the return by Cole Beasley. Meanwhile, the total yardage is 134 Dallas to 21 total yards for the Eagles offensively.
Well, I mentioned it earlier when we visited with Sam Bradford on Friday, and he said, hey, when it's going well, it looks really good, but when it's not, it looks really bad, and this has looked really bad. They have not gotten anything going. When they got the screen to Sproles, it looked like a first down before the penalty. That was their first opportunity to really try to get some momentum.
During the return of the kick, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 57. this penalty is declined. During the kick, holding, receiving team. This penalty be assessed from the spot where the kick ended, 10 yards, first down.
Big break, come back. The Cowboys have the lead and the football. 5:24 left, opening half. 3-0 game, Dallas with the football. Backed up just outside their own 11, and the frustration for DeMarco Murray. You don't have to be much of a lip reader to figure out A, he's mad, B, he's saying he better get the ball the next series. 5 carries, 1 yard for Murray so far. Here's Whitten. He's good for 5.
Yeah, you know, as bad as they started last week, you didn't think that it would happen here in this game, but they look worse. You know, the good news for the Eagles is they're only down 3 points instead of 17 like they were on Monday night. The only thing hurting the Cowboys really is all the penalties. They have been penalized a lot here in the first half. They had penalties on this punt return that backed them up, but it has created some long third downs for them that they've been unable to overcome.
Big news for Philadelphia's defense. Kiko Alonso is out with a left knee injury, out for the rest of the game. And this is a young player who has had both ACLs blow and has had surgery. He missed all of last year with a torn ACL, and not saying that it's that, but it's something that we'll try to get an update on as we go through the rest of the game before we get off the air. So Kiko Alonso, the player, the main guy they got for LaShawn McCoy, out for the rest of the game with a left knee injury. 3rd and 3.
Just an outstanding player too. Had a great rookie year in Buffalo, and you know, big expectations. He was really coming into his own. Like I said, in the opener against Atlanta, still recovering from the injury now to go out, and I think that's very impactful in this ball game right here.
Play clock expired. And that's 2 delay games.
Delay game.
Instead, they get a timeout.
Offense.
And we may get a reversal here as one of the officials comes into Tony Corrente and says a timeout was called.
There is no foul for delay game. Timeout. Dallas. So that's first.
So they pick up the flag. The second timeout charged to the Dallas Cowboys, which saves 5 yards. 3rd down and 3. Tonight, week 2 continues with Sunday Night Football on NBC. A great matchup with the Seahawks and the Packers at Lambeau Field. Tomorrow, Monday Night Football on ESPN. And then week 3 kicks off Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network with the Redskins and the Giants. Giants start 0-2. Redskins got a win today at home over the Rams. They're 1-1.
Joe, you look at this first half. Both these offenses, see what Dallas is able to do on this possession, convert here. Neither team has converted a 3rd down yet, but the Cowboys are every bit as frustrated offensively as what the Eagles are. They're not accustomed to struggling the way that they have here in this first half either.
Empty backfield with Romo. Play clock down to 3. On 3rd down, pass caught by Whitten. Forward progress, good enough for a first down. With under 4 to play in this first half, Thurman and Jordan Hicks on the tackle, a gain of 5 on 3rd and 3.
A little surprised that Walter Thurman was playing as soft as he was, knowing that it was 3rd and short. Whitten sure is Tony's security blanket and has been for a long time. Those two came into the league the same year, completed a lot of passes like that over the years.
And that's the 8th first down of this first half for Dallas. First look wasn't there, and now Randall, after a delay from Romo, is good on the catch, but a flag flies late.
An eligible member of the offense downfield on the pass, number 70.
That happened.
5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Delayed timing on that play.
Yeah, that's what happens when you hold the ball as the quarterback. Here's Zach Martin at right guard, and you're going to see is the ball doesn't come out with the timing that was anticipated. Primarily, Doug Free was in the throwing lane, and you hold it. Zach Martin, he's not looking back. He's expecting the ball to come out on time, and he was downfield.
Lel Collins is back in at guard. Switching off with Mackenzie Bernardo. There he is, 71 on 1st and 15. Beasley incomplete. Jenkins with good coverage. Romo was looking for a flag and doesn't get it.
You just wonder as this game goes forward, are these defenses going to be able to hold up the way that they have? Both defenses certainly improved, I believe, from where they were a year ago. They've been outstanding here in this first half. Like I said, a lot of penalties here on this offense for the Cowboys, but trying to slow down both of these offenses is a real challenge, and they've done a nice job here through the first 30 minutes.
Here's Witten. Witten is out near the 29. It brings up a 3rd and manageable distance. A gain of 11 as Jordan Hicks made the tackle. 3rd and 4.
Well, they got pressure on Tony Romo early in this game, but haven't gotten a lot on him since then. Certainly on that 2nd down play, had a lot of time back there to hold the ball, and unlike a lot of quarterbacks, Tony Romo, he really does not have that internal clock that he feels the ball has to come out within a certain amount of time. If he has time, he's going to hold the ball until he has someone open.
We are going to get the 2-minute warning. Before a 3rd down and 4, it's America's game of the week. Hopefully America likes defense. 3-0 game, and we'll keep an eye on Witten, who's limping on the sideline. Get apps, videos, and more at itunes.com/NFL. 2 minutes left here in the first half. Dallas with the ball facing 3rd down along 4. Up by 3. Witten back in there for Dallas. That's on the defense. It could be a 1st down by penalty. It's a long 4 yards. I don't believe it's a full 5. We'll get the call.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 75 stepped in the neutral zone, causing an offensive player to break his stance. This 5-yard penalty will result in a 1st down.
That's Vinny Curry, and that's a free 1st down.
I think it was a good call, too. You see Vinny Curry, he's anticipating the snap count and getting off on the ball. He's a heck of a pass rusher. He's there on the inside position, plays a lot of different positions, but he's the one who drew the movement, and they got him for the neutral zone infraction.
Romo finds Witten, and they catch up near the 40. Driven backward, which means Witten gets a hit and a flag flies for it. You can hear him say down there it's a late whistle.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 75 came in late to the pile, 15-yard penalty, and an automatic 1st down.
So penalties were really hurtful to the Eagles last week. They get Vinny Curry. Thurman had him wrapped up, and then Curry comes in and gives him a hit to help bring him down. I think the Eagles had a decent argument when they said it was a late whistle. The play wasn't over. Forward progress had been stopped, but that hit by Curry is 15 more yards. And the Eagles now have 30 penalty yards against him, compared with only 21 yards of total offense. On 1st down, Romo, Williams, pass dropped, incomplete. Did not secure the catch as Romo hit him in stride. Maxwell on the coverage, but that's one Williams dropped.
Yeah, that's one that he has to be able to make a play on, and as you come out of that route, you got to work back towards the ball, and It was really a perfectly thrown ball by Tony Romo, and you see he continues to leak upfield. The ball hits him in the hands. Byron Maxwell then able to make a play on it. He knows that was a missed opportunity.
Second and 10. This for Dunbar. Through his hands, incomplete, with coverage by Michael Kendricks. It'll be third down and 10, and in case you're wondering, the career long for Dan Bailey, 56 yards, which would mean the 38-yard line. Right now, the ball is at the 44.
That was a well-thrown ball by Romo as well, and they take a shot. They get a great matchup. Lance Dunbar, who had 8 receptions last week in that game, showing his versatility and the things that he's capable of doing.
Penalty flag on the play. Beasley underneath, out of bounds near a first down. But a flag is down. It's a hold in the secondary.
Well, the way Witten reacted, he's saying that he got held. That would have been on D'Amico Ryans.
Be an automatic first down as well.
Holding defense number 59 against an eligible receiver. 5-yard penalty results in an automatic first down.
D'Amico Ryans, he's one-on-one with Jason Witten, and there's the grab. Not a lot. Certainly not a lot, but enough to draw the penalty. So you talked about the penalties that the Eagles had last week offensively, and certainly the Cowboys have been hurt by all the penalties that they've had, but those are hurting the Eagles defensively on this drive.
Well, there have been 3 penalties on the drive by Philadelphia. All have given Dallas first downs.
Well, offensively, for both these teams, really, if you're a quarterback for either one of these teams, you're a little nervous because you really haven't done a lot. Cowboys have only gotten a field goal, and you cannot expect these defenses to hold up the way that they have through this first half against offenses that are used to scoring a lot of points, and they're capable of scoring a lot of points in a hurry.
So Michael Kendricks is going off to get looked at in the locker room. First down, Dallas at the 39. This one is incomplete. They're not saying it was a forward pass yet. If it's a live ball, it's Philly's ball. And they're giving it to Philadelphia. We have a good look at it up here. And because it is a turnover, they'll look at it. Jenkins ends up with the ball. We'll get the call when we come back. Well, this looked to all of us and to Mike Pereira back in Los Angeles like a forward pass. It's let go outside the 45-yard line. It lands inside the 45-yard line. It's definitely forward. Then, as Mike was talking to us during the break, was the arm going forward. And it certainly looked to be the case as opposed to a fumble. And if it is reversed, it would be 2nd and 10 at the 39 of Philadelphia. And it will be reversed. Here's the call.
After reviewing the play, it was a forward pass, therefore incomplete. Dallas will retain possession of the ball. It will be 2nd down and 10 at the 39-yard line. With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1:31. Thank you.
So 2nd and 10 for Dallas after that incomplete pass to Lance Dunbar.
It's pretty incredible looking at this first half, Joe, that the Eagles offensively have had the ball for less than 7 minutes, and it's a 3-0 ball game. I mean, we'll see what happens on this drive for the Cowboys, but regardless of what happens, I think the Eagles got to feel pretty fortunate that they're still in this game.
This is a false start. Romo taking a long time up at the line of scrimmage all half. Somebody on the right side of the Dallas offensive line moved.
False start. Offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
So it's Witten to bring up 2nd and 15.
Yeah, you see Jason Witten, he's the one who moves, and as soon as the center, Travis Frederick, raises his head, Witten jumps off sides, and it's a big mistake for a veteran player.
It's the 9th Cowboy penalty, 3rd false start. 2nd and 15. Romo over the middle. Down in a heap was Witten as he got his feet tangled up in the coverage. It'll be 3rd down and 15.
I think it was a good non-call, Joe. They're running together, their feet got tangled up. There's no contact.
There's a flag down at the end of the play.
Repeat, second down.
And we missed a call from Tony Correnti. Let's take a look, see if we can decipher what it was. They called a hands to the face. And it's an automatic 1st down inside the 40 at the 39. With 1:27 left in the half.
It looked like they got D'Amico Ryans there inside, and this time a costly penalty for Philadelphia. They had him in long down situations in a 1st down Dallas.
Here's Witten able to get free as he's working on Ryans, and Jason Witten has enough for a Dallas 1st down. Here's the penalty, and there's Ryans with the right hand up under the chin of Travis Frederick.
Yeah, they got him. You know, I mean, that's an easy call. It's a penalty. It's not allowed. No gray area there.
So another defensive penalty for another Dallas 1st down. Romo to Williams, and Williams takes it down inside the 20. 2nd down and about a yard coming up as Nolan Carroll was defending for Philadelphia.
I'm really kind of surprised that the Eagles played as soft as they have, you know, on this series. And they've allowed free releases. They've allowed Witten with some free releases. Hadn't been hard.
Romo can pick up the 1st down easily and out of bounds inside the 10. 1st and goal. And let's go back to what you said a moment ago. This defense for Philadelphia has got to be gassed at this point.
You're going to see Connor Barwin, who he drops into coverage to try to help out. They got nobody in contain. You get lulled to sleep a little bit when you're playing against Tony Romo because he's not a guy who runs. Just really once or twice a game is about what he does on average, but a good job on his part recognizing what he could do with nobody out in front. You see the discrepancy in time of possession. This Eagles defense, yeah, they're conditioned. Yeah, they work hard. They do a lot of things during the week going up against their offense, but they've got to be awfully taxed right now.
Here's Beasley, and he's brought down on a good play by Jenkins. Dallas has a timeout left. We'll see if they take it. Clock continues to wind, and they'll get back up to the line of scrimmage. Under 15 seconds.
Well, this gives Romo some options.
And now a false start. With under 10 seconds here in the half with the clock running. It's against Doug Free.
False start. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
And they have to use a timeout to avoid a penalty. Otherwise, it would have been a 10-second runoff.
Right, now this changes everything as far as what you're doing. You see, it was Doug Free, the right tackle, who gets back on his heels. So now are they going to go ahead and attempt the field goal, or they're going to give Romo one shot? If he has one shot, it's got to be in the end zone, or it's got to be on the boundary, and it's got to be out quick, because anything with the clock running, of course, the half's going to end. Be interesting to see what Jason Garrett decides to do.
Well, the officials are getting together. Dallas has a timeout left. that they can use.
Game
Here's the
clock
call.
operator, please reset the game clock to 11 seconds. Dallas is utilizing their final timeout in lieu of a 10-second runoff. That is Dallas's third and final timeout of the half.
Well, now you got 11 seconds. That's a little different.
Yeah, that changes things. Now you've got some time, and you can try to make a play into the end zone.
Coming up, the Visa halftime. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. Bill Belichick and Rex Ryan match wits in Buffalo. Big day for Tom Brady. Winston battles Breeze in a big win for Tampa Bay. And they are on the red carpet at the Emmys, which are tonight on Fox. It's second and goal with 11 seconds left.
At the top of the screen right here, I keep an eye on him. They're giving him a free run off the line of scrimmage in the middle of the field, wide open.
That's Bryce Butler. Romo in his direction, incomplete. And a flag is down. A pass interference call coming up. And now with 7 seconds left, the ball's going to be inside the 10 if it's against Philadelphia.
Illegal contact, defense number 31. 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
So instead of a spot foul for pass interference, they say illegal contact on Byron Maxwell. And it's a 5-yard penalty, which will move the ball to just outside the 10.
It's an interesting call right there, because it looked to me like you could make the argument Maxwell was he had his position on the field, contact clearly. But I didn't think that, when Byron in the position that he was in, he has a right to a spot on the field. Now this ball's got to come out quick for Tony Romo. And look at Gavin Escobar. It's one-on-one with no help for defensive coordinator Bill Davis.
Romo, end zone, has a man, Williams, incomplete. And with 2 seconds left on the clock, the field goal unit will come on for Dallas, and again Philadelphia's defense holds the Cowboys out of the end zone.
Yeah, and I like what Bill Davis did there. They had one-on-one. Romo was wanting to go to Gavin Escobar, the big tall guy, out wide one-on-one, but they run a linebacker out, give him the help. That's what got Romo off of Escobar there. And Romo, knowing he couldn't hold the ball any longer, he's got to get it out, otherwise he's going to run out of time.
28-yard try for Bailey. He's 2 for 2, and we are at the half in a 6-point game. And a frustrated crowd here in Philadelphia as the teams head to the locker room. 6-0 Dallas. Philadelphia will get the ball when we start the second half. Kurt, the Visa halftime coming up now. Today's excitement is brought to you by Nissan.
Let them know what time it is. Let's go now. It takes everybody. Let's go, boy. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
We welcome you back to the start of the second half here in Philadelphia. 6-0 the Cowboys on top. Eagles will get the ball to start this second half. 1 first down in the first half. It's the fewest since 2001, and that first down, Troy, came on a penalty. I mean, it's time for this Philadelphia offense to get going, and we're going to see it here right out of the gate.
Well, it's hard to believe the way they opened up on Monday night, and you didn't think it could get worse. And here in this first 30 minutes, it certainly has. And it's going to be really interesting to see how they come out here at halftime. I think this drive here is really, really important. They're not down like they were on Monday night. It's a one-possession game. But there's a lot of frustration in that locker room, and I've been there. And it's boiling over to the defense, too. I mean, they're playing as well as they can play. Yeah, they don't have Des Bryant, but they can score points. We saw that. We saw it last week by the Cowboys, and I think it's really important for them to be able to do something on the offensive side of the ball on this drive. Not necessarily come away with some points, but they've got to be able to string some plays together and have more success.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's almost 4-1 advantage Cowboys in the time of possession war. But it's just a 6-point game. This is Huff trying to get to the 20, and he will get awfully close, maybe inches short. And with that, we go down to the field and check in with Aaron Andrews.
You guys mentioned how both these defenses are playing their hearts out. Now the Eagles are going to have to do it shorthanded yet again. We mentioned earlier in the first half, linebacker Kiko Alonso out with a knee injury. Now linebacker Michael Kendricks out with a hamstring injury. Besides that, for the offense, I asked Chip Kelly, what do you got to do? And he said, how about make a first down? We haven't even done that. He also mentioned, let's maybe try to catch the ball and not drop it on third down.
Yeah, they've had some opportunities that way. A drop early by Matthews. Here's play action to start. Bradford well protected. Pass is caught by Aguilar. And a first down. And a partial standing ovation here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, you thought that was a scoring play, the way that these fans reacted to the completion. And, you know, now when you get a first down, now you can start to hurry things up and run the offense that you're used to running. But when you're not picking those up, it doesn't matter what you're trying to do.
The Eagles have to get Murray rolling, and it's Demarcus Lawrence who makes the play in the backfield. And the question is this offensive line for Philadelphia good enough? And so far the answer is no in Atlanta and here today.
Well, Jason Kelsey, the center, he just runs by Demarcus Lawrence as he's coming up the field. They just let him run free through the gap, and hasn't been a good start this year for DeMarco Murray, but he has not had many places to run the ball.
And again, he's wrapped up in the backfield. It's Mincy this time. And DeMarco Murray can't believe it. There are hands on him the instant he gets the football.
Hey, you see Jason Peters, the left tackle, he thinks that he's going to try to reach him. Mincy on the block. Instead, Jeremy Mincy comes up inside of him, penetrates, is in the backfield, and we've seen it time after time here in this game.
That's Rod Marinelli, the defensive coordinator, and in charge of the defensive line. He calls him his rushman. They have been working hard and getting through this Eagles offensive line all game. Now 3rd and 21, a screen for Sproles. And he won't get it. So they get the first down. But this crowd is letting the offense have it. Nothing downfield. A gain of 11. It's 4th down.
Well, I can't recall. I really can't, Joe. I can't recall an offense that I have seen look worse than what I've seen from this Eagles offense. And I mean, if you're ever against preseason games, this is a good reason why, because even after 4, that's what we're watching here in this game.
Here's a block punt. Dallas picks it up. A special teams play. It's Wilbur. A flag is down on a block. The touchdown, it doesn't appear, will count, but the block punt will, and Donnie Jones can't get up. Danny McCray came through and blocked the punt, and then Donnie Jones got laid out trying to make the tackle. That's where the flag came in. The block punt will stand, and we'll get the call now from Correnti.
They're going to get
There is no foul for a blindside block. The block was shoulder into the chest of the quarterback. Therefore, no penalty. The result of the play, touchdown.
And here's the block. And it was Heath who got his right shoulder into the chest of Donnie Jones, and it's the special teams for Dallas. Rich Bisaccia in charge of that group, and it's Wilbur who took it in for the touchdown to add to the lead. Mike Pereira back in Los Angeles. What'd you see there? Good pickup of the flag?
No, I don't think so, Joe, and here's why. The kicker, even after the block kick, is considered defenseless, so you can't hit him in the head or neck area, and to me there's helmet-to-helmet contact, and I think you have to stay with that call.
They pick up the flag, and that means a touchdown, and now the extra point. And that makes it 13-0, Dallas on top. And there's that helmet-to-helmet contact that Mike Pereira talked about. Touchdown Wilbur on America's Game of the Week. Cowboys up 13.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By the Ford F-150. Every other truck is history. By Corona, who invites you to find your beach. And by Samsung, introducing the new Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus and the new Galaxy Note 5.
Oh, who the hell are the Cowboys? We beat that every time we play them.
Oh, I would have said something to Buddy, but he wouldn't stand on the field long enough. He put his big fat rear end into the dressing room.
Cowboys and Eagles special teams play made. There's the block by Heath. Some helmet-to-helmet contact. They pick up the flag. Kyle Wilbur gets the touchdown. And it's the first Cowboy punt block return for a touchdown in 368 games. With Dallas trying to go to 2-0 after that come-from-behind win last week against the Giants. They're up 13-0 on Philadelphia. And it's been ugly so far. Maybe this is the possession where Sam Bradford and the offense gets on a roll.
Yeah, we'll see. I will go back to the block punt, and I'm with Mike Pereira. I saw it when it happened. I thought the flag was a good call, and I'm really surprised that they picked it up. You know, they don't have the benefit of going back and watching it on replay. It sure looked to me like the initial contact was helmet to helmet. Because they made the call the way that they did, I'm surprised then that they decided to pick it up. But boy, this has sure been an ugly game for this Eagles team.
Bradford gets hit and then throws into coverage. It's broken up. Good play by Patman as he tried to get it to Aguilar.
You know, Sam just has not been able to settle in, and you know, they're getting some different looks. I think Rod Marinelli's doing a good job of not always playing man coverage. You run some routes, some of those crossing routes against man, and when they play zone, it creates a little different look for the quarterback.
Bradford looked like he had his arm hit when he threw it. It goes right into the grass, 3rd and 10. The question is, are these guards good enough? As you said, they let Harrimans go. They let Evan Mathis go. And in the interior of this offensive line, the Dallas Cowboys, maybe his arm wasn't hit. He was just trying to pull that back. The interior of this offensive line is just getting worked by Dallas.
It's been a struggle. I don't think Sam Bradford, he's not seeing the field particularly well either. At times when he's had protection, he's been very indecisive.
Here's one down the sideline, incomplete for Riley Cooper. And it's another 3 and out.
And that looked to me, Joe, like a well-thrown ball and one that Riley Cooper's got to be able to make a play. Enough guys on this team are struggling that when you have a chance then to get something positive going, somebody has to step up and do something good to get a first down. And that was an opportunity for Riley Cooper, and like so many before him, failed to convert.
Jones able to stay in there, and he just got this one away. Fair catch called for by Beasley. Eagles have had it 7 times. They've had 5 3-and-outs. Does Chip Kelly have an answer? 13-0 Dallas. Onto the Microsoft Surface tablet is Bradford looking at what's gone on so far.
Kill. Hey, he's switching it. He's switching it.
Here's Randall right side. Able to get around Barwin and knocked out of bounds on a big hit by Jordan Hicks. Lost his helmet on the hit, but a gain of 4. The Audi postgame and the Audi kickoff to the Emmys will follow then the 67th annual Primetime Emmy Awards from Los Angeles coming up. A big night on Fox. Andy Samberg is hosting. 2nd and 6. Again, it's Randall behind this big offensive line. He spins for a first down. The flag is down at the end of the play.
Holding, offense number 70. 10-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
It's a Pro Bowler from a year ago as a rookie, Zach Martin.
You see him right there on your screen, number 70. And it looks like D'Amico Ryans was the one that he was holding. And how about the year that Zach Martin had last year? And talk about the offensive line, and yeah, you can spend some picks, as the Cowboys have, 1st-round picks, but then you've got to be right in those selections, and all 3 of them, and arguably the best of the bunch is Zach Martin. For him to be an all-pro player as a rookie at that position just does not happen very often. He had one heck of a rookie year and played through some injuries too that proved his toughness along the way.
2nd and 13 now. Pass is incomplete. Devin Street wasn't ready for it, didn't have his head around, and there's a lot of work to be done now with guys like Devin Street, Bryce Butler, who we just picked up this week, and Lucky Whitehead, a rookie from Florida Atlantic, to try and get on the same page with Romo.
Yeah, you know, the Cowboys have moved the ball. They did in that first half. They had a lot of penalties, certainly hurt them, but you know, we don't really know what we're seeing from this Dallas offense either. I mean, it has had a different look and feel without Des Bryant, having to rely on some of these young players. The Eagles' defense has been really good, but you just wonder if they were opposite a better offense than what they've had here today in Philadelphia, what this game would look like.
3rd down and 13 down the sideline for Dunbar. He's got it and was able to keep his feet in bounds, working on the rookie linebacker Jordan Hicks, and a big throw from Tony Romo, good for 39 yards.
Well, we saw this earlier in the first half. They split Lance Dunbar out wide. He was matched up that time, I believe, on D'Amico Ryans. This time he's on the rookie Jordan Hicks, and you know, these are the types of things you can expect. And Bill Davis is going to play one-on-one, and if I'm a quarterback and I know every time I come to the line I got one-on-one across the board, it's not hard to play against as long as you have time then in the pocket. And the Eagles really have not put much pressure on Romo since the early part of this game.
Here's Randall right side. Good play up front by Fletcher Cox.
I mean, the throw that Romo made on that was, I mean, it was a fair catch ball. I mean, it was just no coverage. You see Romo drop back. He knows exactly where he's going with it. He lays it up. But you're asking a rookie to try to make a play on the ball down the field, and they're just not used to doing that. He's beat all the way. He's lucky it wasn't a touchdown.
One thing we saw last week for Dunbar, who had 8 catches against the Giants, he has great hands. He catches everything in his area, and he was able to haul it in.
Well, if he's in the game, Joe, you can expect that he's going to be a receiver. They don't handle the ball a lot. He's better as a receiver within this scheme.
In the slot here. Romo loses the ball. Jordan Hicks knocked it out, and we'll see who got on top. Philly. And did the Eagles need that? And Romo is down.
Looked like he might have grabbed his shoulder. We talked about him coming in a little gingerly because of the back and the hit he took last week. The rookie gets pressure, and then big Fletcher Cox goes down on him too.
They check on Romo. The Eagles get a much-needed turnover as they take over at their own 39. Down 13. Romo still down.
Today's game is sponsored by Verizon. Watch live local games with NFL Mobile only on Verizon.
Well, the first turnover of the game could be devastating for the Dallas Cowboys. It took Tony Romo a while just to be able to get up. It's left shoulder, left collarbone, whatever it is, it looks serious. As he lost the football, knocked out by the rookie linebacker Jordan Hicks. And now play action from Sam Bradford. Spins out of trouble. Flag is down, and Bradford is down as well at the 35. Pressure by Devon Coleman. And the flag was thrown at the beginning of the play. Well, the Eagles get exactly what they needed. The turnover, it comes at a great time, and now we'll see what the offense can do with it for Chip Kelly. A lot of flags in this game.
Just a lot of guys, Joe, on that last play. There was time initially. First of all, Sam Bradford's got to get the ball out of his hands. There's no excuse for taking a sack and losing yardage when you're outside the pocket.
There is no foul on the play for defensive holding, as a running back who had the fake handoff to was tackled immediately thereafter. Therefore, in the tackle box, it is not a foul. Second down.
So second down and a loss on the play on the sack of Sam Bradford.
There's pressure inside. He's able to avoid that. But then once he gets outside the pocket, you see what Sam Bradford's looking at. It's man-to-man coverage, and there's just no separation. Really nowhere to go with the ball, but you can make a bad play worse, and that's what Sam Bradford did by not unloading it and at least avoiding the lost yardage.
A loss of 5 on the play. Screen set up for Murray. Looking for a spark, and DeMarco Murray's got a first down. A catch and run of 18 yards for number 29. And the Eagles get a spark from the former Cowboy.
They had a lot of success with the screen plays last week, and that's the only thing that's worked for him here today.
Here he is again. Ridden out of bounds by Sean Lee. Meanwhile, on the other side, in case you're wondering, the Dallas Cowboys have only one backup quarterback, and it's number 3, Brandon Weeden. And Weeden, it appears, will take over next time the Cowboys have it after Romo was injured. 2nd and 8. Bradford, flag flies, and the pass incomplete as it was batted into the air. DeMarco Murray indicates the foul is against Dallas.
You know, if you're Brandon Weeden and you're maybe having to go back in the game, which is what it looks like, I think I'd be doing a little more than sitting on the bench. I think I'd
pass was deflected,
get warmed up.
Pass. Holding, defense, number 90, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's DeMarcus Lawrence, 2nd-round pick last year, who suffered that same injury that Des Bryant is dealing with. And there's the hold as he spins DeMarco Murray.
Well, there's no doubt that this running back trio that they have, very good at catching the ball out of the backfield and making plays, and the Cowboys wanting to try to control that with them coming out of the backfield.
Here's Murray again, poor blocking up front, and Murray will lose yardage again. First guy there was Mincy, but he was not alone, and Murray has got to be wondering what in the world is going on up front. Well, he can't get anything going.
No, you're going to see linemen who are pulling out, and what happens is that then creates some lanes for guys to get up the field and put pressure on them. Normally, this offense will take advantage of the over-aggressive defensive front. They've not been able to do that. They've been out of sync from the beginning, and another opportunity for a running back without anywhere to go with the football.
Did you see those numbers? Murray, 8 carries, minus 15 yards in this game, in this big rematch, and all the emotion and everything else. As a player is down, it's Barry Church for Dallas. That's why we have whistles and a stop in the action. He's along the Philadelphia sideline. But right now the big story is Tony Romo's injury, and how serious is it as he came down on the left shoulder. Hicks, who forced the fumble, came down on top of Romo. You get the sense the way his arm is hanging there. It's shoulder, collarbone, something like that.
Well, it's shoulder more than likely, and the severity of it we'll find out. He's in the training room. He's getting x-rays on it, I'm sure, as we speak. He broke that collarbone a few years ago, missed over half the season. And, of course, we know what he means to this football team. Talked about the loss of Des Bryant. The one guy they cannot afford to lose, certainly, is Tony Romo. Weeden had 1 start last year against Arizona. That was a game that they lost. He only had 41 pass attempts. Of course, he did start some early in his career as a first-round pick for the Cleveland Browns. But I'm a little surprised that he's not. I'm just surprised he's not warming up. I don't think he's thrown a football since, the pregame warm-ups, but he seems pretty calm over there on the sidelines.
2nd down and 15. Bradford, Matthews. Flag is thrown as there was a grab. Patman had his arm on the arm of Jordan Matthews.
Jordan Matthews, he's lined up on the slot, a well-designed play. You see that Patman's trying to overcome the underneath route and the traffic, and when he does, it gives Matthews a step.
Defense, number 26. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
It's now 13 Dallas penalties in this game. This one a 16-yard penalty against Tyler Patman, against Jordan Matthews, who has been shut out. And how can the mind of Jason Garrett not be wandering for what's going on in the locker room with Tony Romo right now? Over the middle, pass is caught. Good for about 9 to Zach Ertz.
Well, that's the area of the field that I really expected them to be able to exploit a little bit more than they have. Whether the Cowboys are playing zone as they were on that particular play, but they've mixed it up. So as a quarterback, you got to go through your progression, see what they're doing. Whether man or zone, that's an area of the field that the Eagles typically do a good job, whether it's with a tight end like we just saw with Zach Ertz, or they use these running backs in those areas.
On the ground, negative yardage for Philly, 2nd and 1. Bradford, Sproles, first down.
Darren Sproles and what he means to an offense everywhere that he's been. When he started out in San Diego, when he left, I know that Philip Rivers certainly wasn't happy about that, and nor was Drew Brees when he left New Orleans. But you watch him, and man, he just does not seem to slow down. Really ageless in a lot of ways, and this is 13th season.
First time in the red zone for the Eagles. It's Huff. Near another first down. Sean Lee on the tackle. And they'll mark him just short.
Well, you see what it means when you get a defense on its heels a little bit, you get things going offensively, and even though they're still not playing at the breakneck speed that you're accustomed to seeing. I mean, they're being more methodical. You know, for a Chip Kelly offense, this is about as methodical as it gets. And Sproles is in his 11th year, not 13. But still, he's taken, you know, he's had some punishment, but a good player.
2nd and 1. Right side, Bradford throws, Murray stops, comes upfield, sets up 1st and goal.
There was no way DeMarco Murray was going to catch that ball and run out of bounds, even though he was in a position to pick up the first down right there. He's trying to let out a lot of frustration right now and provide as much punishment on the defense as possible and get into the end zone.
This crowd will erupt. The Eagles can get it into the end zone. A frustrating day for a big crowd here in Philadelphia. Bradford off the right hand of Aguilar. Covered by Carr.
Yeah, good coverage there by Brandon Carr. Well, we'll see here whether or not Philadelphia, as you take a look at the coverage, Brandon Carr playing inside technique, really an excellent job. Not anywhere really for Sam Bradford to try to throw that ball, but if the Eagles are able to score here and they turn this then into a one-possession game, it gets real interesting, you know, depending on the status of Tony Romo.
2nd and goal. Bradford over the middle, pass is picked off by Lee. Trying to get it to Zach Ertz, and Sean Lee, back off the torn ACL, is there for the Dallas defense. And it's the 2nd turnover of the game. Out of the right hand of Sam Bradford and right into the gut of Sean Lee. Opportunity goes down the drain for the Eagles on the pick by Lee. Still 13-0 Dallas on America's Game of the Week. Well, with Romo injured in this game, what a chance for Philadelphia. And the interception is the result at the end of this drive.
Yeah, you're going to see where Sam Bradford, he tries to fit it in. I don't know where he was trying to throw the ball and complete the pass there to Ertz, but he has Riley Cooper on the back line. If he comes back off of him, that's next in the progression would be to continue out the left side, and he has a touchdown. But I just don't know, if you try to throw that with a guy with his back to the ball, you put it up high, just really no opportunity whatsoever. Real gift for Sean Lee.
Lee with 10 tackles and now the interception. Now Brandon Weeden takes over. You have to expect a lot on the ground. It's Randall. And Joseph Randall turned that into a good play as he stopped and tried the left side. Picked up 7.
That's an outstanding job on his part. You're right. There was nowhere really for him to go. He was caught in the backfield. And he makes the first, or he picks up good yardage. You take a look at what Brandon Weeden has done over the course of his career. Obviously a much different quarterback than Tony Romo. Aside from the experience and all that, he just doesn't have the playmaking ability in the pocket the way that Tony Romo does. So they can pin their ears back and come after him even a little more.
Another false start.
Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
And for more on Romo, here's Aaron.
Well, Joe, we had a shot of Tony coming off the field, and if you can read lips, you can see here he says it's broken. I was just waiting by the x-ray room, and Tony just emerged, equipment off, putting his left arm to his chest, head was down. No word from the Dallas Cowboys yet on what the injury is.
Well, it was 2010 that Tony Romo fractured his left collarbone. He played in 6 games that year. Now it's Brandon Wheaton. Here's Beasley. Good throw by Wheaton. And Beasley, losing his helmet, has got enough for a first down for Dallas. What a throw by a guy who we didn't see throw a pass warming up over on the sideline. That was pinpoint.
Yeah, well, he certainly has a strong arm. He's able to fit the ball into some tight spaces. And Beasley, he takes a shot as he goes to the ground at the end. Helmet coming off. Everybody's stepping on him. You know, this was a team last year that remained relatively healthy, you know, for the most part. Didn't lose a lot of key players. They've been hit hard already in 2 games.
Here's Randall, cuts up. And brought down at the 34. A gain of 4. Jenkins on the stop. This season, stream live local Sunday afternoon games right on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. So the Cowboys are without Dez Bryant. They are without for the moment. Who knows how long? Tony Romo. And there's Witten, who's buckled a bit earlier. We saw him limping in the first half, but he's able to continue 2nd and 6. Randall, right side. Barr went off the edge. Was in on the stop. 3rd down coming up as we are under 3 to play in the 3rd quarter.
And look at this defense for the Eagles and the injuries that they've had at the linebacker position. So they're shorthanded. It was a position of strength coming into the game. They've had 2 key guys go down in Michael Kendricks and Kiko Alonso. We saw Lance Dunbar come in a couple times. Now they've got the rookie Jordan Hicks. They've had him open both times. They convert on the one. I'm surprised they haven't used more of Dunbar for that matchup with the linebacker, because there's really not a lot of options right now on how you're going to defend some of that stuff for Bill Davis.
3rd down and 3. Wheaton, Dunbar needs to make a move. A stiff arm, and he's brought down short of a first down. Nolan Carroll and Byron Maxwell combined to make the stop. It's 4th down and a good stop for this Eagles defense.
Yeah, it is, and that's a good play by Byron Maxwell. We've talked about how he has struggled in pass coverage, but Nolan is there to make a play. Nolan Carroll, but Maxwell was the one who came in and finished him off and really has kept him from picking up that first down.
Chris Jones punt. Another good one. Sproles will stay away. And it will be kept in play and downed inside the 1. And now they're saying touchback. The Cowboys celebrate, but they're calling it a touchback as Corey White got down there early, kept it in play, and then whoever downed it, see if it's White. He's in the field of play, not in the end zone, but I believe it happened when it was down. Eagles ball at the 20, down 13. This was a good call by the officials and just a terrible mistake by Jeff Heath. This ball is dying, isn't going to move anymore, and Heath downfield gets the left foot on the goal line, so it's a touchback instead of a first down at the 1. So some breathing room for Bradford, and he's going to take off. And the man who has torn his ACL twice, the same ACL, the left one, is good for 9.5, just short of a first down.
Well, pretty good coverage, and then you had Darren Sproles and it looked like Riley Cooper. They were basically running in the same spot, and that's what got Sam Bradford off of everything. But going back to that punt, Corey White makes an unbelievable play to keep the ball inside the 1, and huge mistake by Heath.
2nd and inches, pass is not caught by Matthews. And he's had the drops here early. A sliding attempt there. Now it's 3rd and inches.
And they get the man coverage, and this is what the Eagles like to play against. They like these matchups, and it's Jordan Matthews against Tyler Patman, and a really well thrown ball. Jordan Matthews now, he's missed a couple, and we saw the one Riley Cooper missed, but guys just have not been able to come through and make tough catches, and some of them really not even all that tough.
2 drops, no catches for Matthews. Here is a first down picked up by DeMarco Murray under a minute to go, 3rd quarter. We've seen fights in the stands. We've seen a fan get out onto the field, get into the defensive huddle moments ago and get thrown down by one of the Eagles players. This is a tense atmosphere here in Philadelphia.
And Jason Peters, he's hobbled, and now he's coming to the sidelines as they take a look at him.
I'm out on the field for a player injury.
Peters missed a play last week in Atlanta, and Matt Tobin took over at left tackle, and he's in there now. The Philadelphia Eagles have rushed for negative yardage, -7. The last time they've rushed for negative yards in a game was at Washington in 1961. 1st and 10. Here's Murray with some room. Hurdles a tackler. What a catch and run by Murray as he went over Brandon Carr. And now a flag thrown on the sideline.
We'll see what the flag's for, but hey, DeMarco Murray is a man possessed right now. He wants the ball in his hands. He wants to inflict punishment. You see the job that he does here, going over the top of Brandon Carr, and he expected a better outing than what he's been able to have here in this game, but a big gain for the Eagles on that play.
At the conclusion of the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Murray got a little grab from Dan Bailey, the kicker.
I'm not sure what Dan Bailey's doing grabbing him to begin with.
And this got 15 yards.
Number
Called
5
against
for
Dallas.
I don't
now
get
they
it.
change it. It is against Dan Bailey for that on the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if you haven't seen the guy in a while and you want to just say something to him, but DeMarco's trying to get back on the field, and I don't know. That's a new one on me.
What a crazy end of the 3rd quarter. So the hurdle from Murray over Brandon Carr. And then Dan Bailey, the kicker, getting frisky on the sideline. 4th quarter, back after this from your local Fox station. 13-0 Dallas. We start the 4th quarter. Sean Lee and DeMarco Murray now on opposite sides. With an unsportsmanlike conduct on the kicker, Dan Bailey sets it up 1st down. Here's Murray trying to get him going. The run game is not working for Philadelphia at all, as it didn't last week in Atlanta. And here's Bailey again. And Murray with that little shove into the chest of Dan Bailey. You can see the blood on the 5 on the chest of Bailey. Bailey grabs his arm. He gets the flag. 15 more yards now, 2nd and 8. Bradford stumbles, completes. Now the ball is dropped, and they are going to say incomplete. Riley Cooper had it for a moment, then he got hit by Sean Lee. You think the Cowboys missed Sean Lee last year? He is all over the place.
I was looking at it more from the Eagles' perspective, and Sam Bradford, he gets tripped up with Riley Cooper coming underneath. He's supposed to run to the flat route, and they this has been one of the more bizarre games I've ever watched.
11 tackles for Sean Lee and an interception in the end zone. He led the team in tackles last week at home against the Giants. 3rd and 8 now. Here's Aguilar, and he's missed. He was wide open. And Parkey's going to come in and attempt a field goal.
Well, Aguilar was open on the in route, as you're going to see. You don't get any more open than that in this league. There was an underneath throw that was open as well. one of the strengths of Sam Bradford is his accuracy. A lot of times today, as we've pointed out, hadn't been a lot of guys open, especially when the Cowboys have been in their man coverage. But he got a zone look, and Aguilar runs a good route. That should have been an easy third down conversion.
Parkey missed a 44-yarder last week, and from 46, he drills it. And the Eagles are on the board, but down by 10. In one of the weirder games we've covered, America's Game of the Week.
Today's game is sponsored by Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL. By Burger King. Try our Oreo Red Velvet Shake. Now you can have your cake and drink it too. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It's the Olney Eagles. They play in lower northeastern Philadelphia, currently the defending champs in their junior Pee Wee League, made up of 10 and 11-year-olds. Here is Dunbar on the return for Dallas. And a decent return out across the 25. And so what's happened in this game? We've had injuries. We talked about injuries coming in. Welcome in the booth. I'm Joe Buck along with Troy Aikman, and we talked about Des Bryant not being here. Now Kiko Alonso is out for the Philadelphia defense. Michael Kendricks is out. We've seen now Tony Romo go out. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys may be leading, but they have a lot out in front of them to overcome here in the next weeks.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, both these teams do, but especially when you lose your starting quarterback by all reports. I mean, he's going to miss a lot of time, and I think the sidelines for the Cowboys and this team realizes that. Nobody's feeling good right now for either team. There's a heavy price that's being paid here on the field, regardless of whoever wins.
On first down, a 10-point game. It's McFadden refusing to go down as he crosses the 30. Aaron, what'd you learn down there?
Well, Tony Romo has suffered a fractured left clavicle. Of course, that's the same one he broke in 2010. Dallas Cowboys saying his long-term status will be determined tomorrow after further testing in Dallas, guys.
So without Des Bryant, without the trigger man, Tony Romo, and Jason Garrett's got a lot going on in that mind. Leading by 10, second down and 6. Dunbar starts this play in the slot. Whedon's going to get out, pick up a first down, and slide down at the 40.
Nobody maintaining their lanes there defensively, and gives Brandon Whedon a nice chance to keep the ball, which he wisely does, and picks up some really positive yards. And hey, you look at, you've always got to be prepared for, your starter going down. The Eagles have decided to go back with Mark Sanchez as the backup. He had a bit of an up-and-down year last year when he was called upon. Brandon Whedon in his one start, he struggled at home against Arizona, got some playing time in a few other games. They decided to stick with him, and now it's going to be his show for a while. They're going to have to rally around.
Here's McFadden. Say this, I don't know that we're that far away if this continues on the other side of seeing Mark Sanchez. I mean, this has not been a good offensive effort by the Philadelphia Eagles, and Sam Bradford has missed some open receivers. He hasn't had much to look at. The ground game is non-existent. But the Eagles need a spark here, or they are staring at an 0-2 start to the 2015 season. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Chip Kelly paid a steep price to get Sam Bradford, but it has not been good here today. Here's McFadden. Nice hole for Darren McFadden, who had 7 injury-plagued seasons in Oakland. Picks up 6. Thurmond on the stop. 3rd and 2. Washington now 1-1. Philadelphia 0-1 trailing here. Dallas trying to go to 2-0, and the Giants are 0-2 after losing their home opener today to Atlanta.
Well, this entire division looks a lot differently without Tony Romo in the lineup for the Dallas Cowboys, a team that certainly believes they're a contender. I do as well. I'm not sure you say that with him not playing.
Handoff for the first down, and a big one to McFadden. McFadden was nicked up during the preseason. They didn't get to see much of him. He's more of the power back that the Cowboys have. Troy, they also traded for Kristen Michael, who we saw over the years. with the Seattle Seahawks. They have a lot of options. Nobody named DeMarco Murray, but behind this offensive line, opportunity for somebody carrying the ball.
And I think right now Philadelphia has to recognize what they're up against. I mean, there's no doubt that the Cowboys are trying to play it conservatively. They want to come away with a touchdown, and if they get a touchdown, I mean, it's going to be really difficult for the Eagles to come back on a 3-score game. So they've got to make a stop. They're going to run the football, and they're just not making tackles.
Missed tackle there as McFadden picks up about 5. Fletcher Cox missed him in the backfield.
You know, both sides of the ball really are just kind of going through the motions right now. Not a lot of emotion offensively for the Cowboys, and certainly not right now for this defense. But this is an important possession in this game for both these teams. The Cowboys have a chance to essentially ice it. And for the Eagles, they got to make a stop, and they got to make a stop quickly.
That defense worn out. Fletcher Cox huffing and puffing. 2nd and 6. First throw on this drive. It's Beasley. And Beasley gets to the edge. He went around Byron Maxwell and picks up a first down.
Well, Beasley gets the ball in his hands. He's got some space. He's difficult, but it's not good football. This has been a terrible game to watch.
And with that, we welcome in a new audience. The Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. America's game of the week, and man, it has been weird. And it's been painful for each side with injuries. We'll get to that in a moment. First down, Dallas up 10. Right now, this tired defense can't stop the running game for the Cowboys as McFadden carries it and picks up 9. But if you're just joining us, obviously the game started without Dez Bryant. Now the Cowboys have lost Tony Romo out with a fractured left clavicle. DeMarco Murray -9 rushing yards. And Tony Romo back out on the sideline with Drew Dawson, part of the medical staff for the Dallas Cowboys. You saw that bottom line. Kyle Wilbur returned a block punt for a touchdown earlier in the second half for Dallas, but it has been ugly at times. On second down, McFadden's got a first down, and this defense, with the flag down now on the play, this defense is worn out.
Holding, offense, number 87. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
It's Jeff Swaim, the rookie tight end.
I think you called it, Joe. The defense has been on the field now for, well over 35 minutes of the ball game, and they've done about all they can do. I mean, really, this right now, as much as you want to say that, okay, you're going to get a heavy dose of the running game and now make a stop, they're worn out. I mean, you can condition all you want throughout the week, throughout the offseason. At some point, you get tired if you're not getting any help from the other side of the ball.
This defense for Philadelphia has only given up 2 field goals. Special teams touchdown for Dallas on a block punt. That's it. They held up well. Here's Randall right side. Good work. Bring up 3rd down and 11. It's been injuries for Tony Romo. Here's the one last year with a back injury, and he's been suffering with a bad back. He's had 2 procedures on it. That was against the Redskins, as we talked about. A fractured left collarbone for Romo back in 2010, and now they're calling it a fractured left clavicle for Romo here in week 2.
Or what'd you say? He missed 10 games the last time he had it. I had the same injury. I missed 5, came back, but with it being the second time to have the broken left collarbone, what's the severity this time around? As we reported, we'll find out tomorrow.
Here's a pass caught, dropped by Escobar, and the Eagles pick it up. Jenkins on the return, and the Eagles have life. Knocked out by Maxwell. Escobar with a catch. Clearly had it. Maxwell knocked it out.
He comes in with the right hand, and Escobar had it to his stomach, and Maxwell's able to knock it loose. As you see, he comes in and makes a play on it, comes out. I mean, the One thing that the Eagles needed defensively was that type of play. Sets up the offense now in beautiful shape. There's still plenty of time on the clock. It's a two-score game. But now the big question is whether or not this offense is capable of capitalizing. But yeah, regardless of who's played, even before Romo went down, this defense has really played well throughout this game.
It was a big holding call on that last possession. Now Bradford's not ready for the snap. That ball is loose. And Dallas takes it right back. A flag is down on the play, however. Bradford was not ready for the snap. It hit him. He tried to get back on top, but we'll check this call. Nick Hayden recovered it for Dallas.
Illegal motion on the offense. Players were not set. Excuse me, offense. Players were not set. This penalty is declined. The result of the play will be Dallas football recovery.
So the Cowboys get it right back. And watch Bradford. Nobody's set. Kelsey snaps it. Bradford's not ready. Hayden recovers. And another offensive mistake for the Eagles. Well, after getting the turnover with his Philadelphia defense providing a ball knocked out by Maxwell, recovered by Jenkins, the Eagles offensively just give it right back. Snap from center. Jason Kelsey came early. Bradford wasn't ready and couldn't get on top of it. Now Randall right side. The flag flies again. And it's a hold.
Holding. Offense. Number 73. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
Let's check in with Mike Pereira back in Los Angeles. Mike.
You know, let's go back to this play to Bradford. Watch the right guard. He's actually going from a 2-point stance to a 3-point stance when the ball is snapped. That's a false start. So you really should never have had a play on this. Should have been a 5-yard penalty. Philadelphia should retain the ball at all time during the course of the game. If an interior lineman goes from a 3 to a 2-point stance, it's a false start if the ball snapped.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for checking in. So a missed call down on the field, which would have kept the ball with Philadelphia. And now with under 7 minutes to go, a carry by Randall of 1 yard. There's a reaction by the Pro Bowl center, Jason Kelsey, when he got to the sideline. And again, there's pressure on these guards. Chip Kelly wanted to make the change. Mathis was sent packing. Same for Harriman's. And these two guards in this line has been overwhelmed at times by the Dallas defensive front. Gardner and Barber now the guards. 2nd and 19. Pass is caught by Witt. And Witt will take it to the 30. 3rd down and long coming up. A gain of 7. Ryan's on the tackle.
I agree, Joe. I think you look at the offensive line for Philadelphia and those offensive guards in particular, the changes that were made and replacing them, and you know some of the issues that they've had. But I think looking at this game, it's been a terrible performance by everyone involved. I mean, across the board, guys who you typically can count on. We see a veteran center in Jason Kelsey. He snaps the ball early. Jordan Matthews not making plays. Riley Cooper not making plays. Sam Bradford not seeing the field at all throughout this game. They've played 8 quarters of football. They've been terrible in 6 of them. Just not what you expect to see.
3rd down and 12. Penalty flag again. Pass is caught by Dunbar. He won't get the first down. And this is against the Cowboys. It'll be declined in 4th. Barwin says it is against Dallas. It is. And declined.
Holding. Offense. Number 70. This penalty is declined. The results of the play creates 4th down.
And with over 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, Philadelphia about to get it back.
Tell you what, if the Eagles weren't so inept offensively today, we'd be talking about the Cowboys offensively and the problems that they've had. Even when Romo was playing, yeah, they moved the ball at times, but a lot of penalties. We've seen a lot of penalties now with Brandon Whedon under center. The offensive line that this offense is built on has had a lot of penalties with holding, and you got Jason Witten, he's false starting. It's just been a bad performance by everyone involved. Both defenses have played outstanding.
Here's Sproles on the return, well covered downfield by Dallas. So this Philadelphia offense which has 107 total yards for the game. Back to work downtown.
Game is sponsored by the all-new Audi A3 e-tron plug-in hybrid. Plug in and take names.
They honored him today before the game. Really the last of the two-way players. Played center and linebacker. Personified a team in a region as much as any player anywhere. Was an Eastern Pennsylvania guy from Bethlehem. Decorated World War II vet. An All-American at Penn. Hall of Fame career with the Eagles and that infamous and famous hit Frank Gifford back in 1960. Gifford also a Hall of Famer. Frank acknowledged it was a clean hit. Frank Gifford died less than 5 months after Ben-Nerich this year. A great player, beloved here in Philadelphia. They honored him today. Here's Huff underneath. And he hops out of bounds near first down. Brandon Carr is there defending, under 5 to go.
Well, if there was ever a time, Joe, to get that high-octane offense going, you know, a couple quick scores in a short amount of time, now's the time. But in order to do it, they're going to have to do a lot of things that we just have not seen throughout this game.
Cannon click in. Here's Matthews, able to hang on, gets a block, and hops out of bounds. 4:40 left. And it's his first catch of the game. He has a couple of drops, and now he picks up a first down for Philadelphia.
Right now, the Cowboys, you know, of course, they want to try to make the Eagles go the hard way and use the clock to their advantage and keep it rolling. The last 2 completions, they're able to get out of bounds and stop it.
Here's one over the middle, tipped into the air and intercepted. Picked off by Wilcox. And that will likely seal this one here in Philadelphia. Intended for Ertz, batted up into the air and intercepted by J.J. Wilcox. Another turnover. Toward the end of an ugly game here in Philadelphia. Cowboys take over up 10. The Eagles have 3 turnovers over their last 12 snaps. So they had opportunity. Now with the ball deflected. Pass intended for Ertz. Intercepted by J.J. Wilcox. Dallas takes over after the return. They get another false start. Brandon Weeden.
False start. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty remains, first down.
They get free. Weeden looked like he was pulling out of there too early. Let's get a further clarification from Mike Pereira in Los Angeles. Mike?
Yeah, on the play that the ball was snapped when the right guard was going down, the ruling on the field, Tony Carini announced illegal motion, but he did say that all players had not gotten set for a full second, the wide receiver at the top, for example. So that makes it an illegal shift and not a shutdown false start, and that's why they let the play go.
Okay, thank you, Mike. And on first down and 15, it's McFadden carrying it for 2 yards, under 4.5 to go. Clock is stopped at the moment, and a timeout taken by Philadelphia, their first. Well, the Audi post game and the Audi kickoff to the Emmys, and then the 67th annual Primetime Emmy Awards from Los Angeles coming up after we say goodbye from Philadelphia. It's going to be a long week for the Eagles. Chip Kelly, a lot of questions. Same for Murray, same for Sam Bradford. This offense did nothing today.
No, they really struggled. I think the Emmys thought this was going to be a good lead-in for their show. Didn't work out that way. Obviously, not what we expected coming into this game. A Week 2 showdown and division rivals. These guys, both these teams, Cowboys, Eagles, these were the division contenders. And boy, you walk away from this game really having an entirely different opinion of both teams. Certainly the Eagles. Their inability to do anything on the offensive side of the ball.
Here's McFadden. McFadden on second down picks up 2. Timeout taken by Philadelphia. It also really changes the complexion of what we expected in the NFC East. We'll talk about that when we come back after a short break in Philadelphia. Bradford hoping to get it back and get another shot at the Dallas defense. 3rd down and 11. Weeden's got a man. That's Williams. He's gone. Touchdown Dallas. hit in stride as he worked against Byron Maxwell.
They may as well have had 10 guys on the field, Joe. Byron Maxwell plays as soft as you can play, and you know, it's a slant route. You know, it's a slant route, skinny post, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty simple, and to go uncontested at this point in the game, when you've got to make a play to get the ball back to your offense for any opportunity whatsoever, not that that would have mattered anyway, but that's bad.
Brandon Whedon, by the way, has gone 7 for 7 for 73 yards and now a touchdown. As he gets one to Terrence Williams. And this becomes a 20-3 game, and Brandon Whedon hung in there, delivered a strike, and took a hit at the end of it.
They see Brandon Graham, he's got a free shot, and you know, certainly was clean. They don't have options after Brandon Whedon. They only kept 2 quarterbacks on the roster. You know that they're going to be looking at the wire and seeing who's available when they go into next week, and I'm sure they've got a few people in mind in case this happened.
Tebow's out there.
Well, the Eagles may want to sign him.
You're sending him back to the Eagles. You know, this is a game now where Chip Kelly has got to wonder what he really has on his hands here in 2015. I mean, when you get rid of the talent he's gotten rid of and create the team you want to create by getting rid of LaShawn McCoy, by getting rid of Deshaun Jackson before last year, by getting rid of Brandon Boykin, a nickel corner who they traded to Pittsburgh, and then they suffered an injury with Ja'Cory Shepard, by making the changes at guard and getting rid of Harrimans and Mathis. Hey, it's the team you want, and they have not played well, as you said now, for 6 of the 8 quarters they've played so far this season. Huff takes a knee. Guys getting ready at the Emmy Awards. There's Terry Bradshaw, Michael Strahan, and they'll be coming to you after this with the Audi postgame.
Of course, that's old hat for Strahan. He hangs out with those Hollywood stars every day.
Yeah, that's what he's done with himself.
Well, it looks like fun. I'm sure it's going to be a great night.
Under 5 to go, now down by 17, Sam Bradford. Pass is incomplete, and they're going to get a flag for interference with Cooper. Could be a hold against the defender out there on number 14. Either way, a first down. What's happened going back to the end of last year if the Eagles don't come roaring back here today for Chip Kelly?
Fouls against both teams that will offset. Illegal use of the hands, defense number 24. Illegal use of the hands, hands to the face, offense number 71. By rule, these penalties will offset, replay, first down.
The Eagles now, Troy, have lost 5 of their last 6 games under Chip Kelly. They finished the year last year 1-3. They're in danger if they don't win here, and that seems unlikely. 0-2 to start this year. You see their upcoming schedule at the Jets, at Washington the next 2 weeks. Pass is caught by Matthews. Out to the 30.
You know, last year's ending, Joe, was certainly disappointing. As I mentioned earlier in this ball game, when they beat Dallas on Thanksgiving night in Dallas, they controlled the division. You know, they were up a game and a half with 4 to play, and they lost the next 3 games and lost control and ended up staying home for the playoffs. And they went into this season thinking they'd made some changes that would help them. They trade Foles, they bring in Sam Bradford, all the things that we've discussed, and I do think they have some depth. They lost some of that at the linebacker position here today, but they just were out of sync from the get-go. I think that there were some opportunities they failed to capitalize on, not making plays, whatever it is. But at 0-2, you start looking at yourself a whole lot differently when you go into that facility, and it's not insurmountable, but we know what the stats show for teams to start off 0-2 and making it to postseason.
Here's Hurts. Out of bounds to stop the clock with 3:36. Jeffrey Lurie has cast his lot with Chip Kelly. Howie Roseman was personnel man and the general manager. He's been shifted to executive vice president of football operations. And it's Kelly's team. He's the one, quote unquote, as Bill Parcells said, shopping for the groceries. Not a good start for this offense. What a catch by Matthews. A one-handed, left-handed grab, and with under 3.5 to go, a first down for Philadelphia.
I think that makes it even more hard to swallow, Joe, for the Eagles is they'd lost 3 in a row at home to the Cowboys coming into this game. Now you're facing them without Des Bryant, a guy who had big games against this team. And then eventually Tony Romo's out of the lineup, and yet it made no difference. It didn't impact the game at all. They had the lead. They maintained the lead, and they just, if you're not going to beat Dallas with the shorthand that they had in this game, when are you going to do it? If, in fact, you're a divisional contender like we talked about. We thought it was a 2-team race coming into this season. This was going to go a long way in the early part of the year in determining, who's in a good position to control it. But like I said, Dallas without that man right there looks entirely different as well. Nobody likes to see anybody go down, but I can assure you in Washington and in New York, they feel, hey, maybe we have an opportunity now after all.
Over the middle, it's Matthews. He gets 9. Well, Washington got a win today. They were so good on the ground at home against the Rams. The Giants lost at home to Atlanta. And it's the Atlanta Falcons who beat Philadelphia on Monday night. They win today in the Meadowlands, and they are in Dallas, in Arlington, Texas next week, and we'll be there. Brandon Wheaton against the Matt Ryan-led Atlanta Falcons. Here's Murray trying to get on the positive side of the ledger for his carries and yardage for the day. Sets up 1st and goal. Clock continues to wind. A 17-point game. Murray is going to reach. They're going to mark him short. Knee was down before the reach, and we're rapidly approaching the 2-minute warning. They get it away and can't get the touchdown on 2nd and goal with Murray, and with 1:58 left. The frustration for DeMarco Murray continues as Sean Lee makes the play. Under 2 to go in Philadelphia. Dallas on their way to a 2-0 start. Dallas Cowboys are going to have to ride their defense now for a little while as Troy circles Sean Lee and the play he just made. Now without Romo, Des Bryant. We talked about coming in there without Randy Gregory, their 2nd-round pick, maybe their best pass rusher. They're without Rolando McClain, Greg Hardy, both suspended 4 games. A lot of water treading to do. Here's Murray, touchdown, but a flag. Thrown by the umpire, and it's a hold.
Holding. Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. 3rd down.
It's Alan Barber.
He's right here at the left guard position. That's what you've been talking about, Joe. And they finally get one in, and he does grab, as you can see there on the line. You talk about Sean Lee in the game that he's had, and he's just, as I said earlier, he's one of the real playmakers. He's always around the ball. It just seems when the ball's loose, he's the guy who's creating it, or he's the one on top of it. We saw the interception, turns around, and that's not an easy play to make. Unexpected, the ball's right at him. He makes the play, but he's a real leader for this group. And
now the play clock expires.
Offense, 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Forget the fast pace. I mean, there's no jump to this offense at all.
They're just going through the motions. This is he's embarrassed. I mean, and I'm embarrassed, and everybody should be embarrassed. This has been about as poor a performance as I can recall ever seeing in this league.
3rd down and goal. Matthews well short 4th down. And just to put a cap on DeMarco Murray as Lee makes yet another tackle. DeMarco Murray in this game, 13 carries, 2 yards. For the season, 21 carries, 11 yards.
Yeah, wouldn't you like to know what he's thinking?
I don't know if we'll ever know. He's pretty business as usual, pretty straightforward. Here is a down for Jordan Matthews with 1:21 left. This is a demoralized offense. Can't even celebrate, as this extra point would make it a 10-point game.
Yeah, I'm not sure I even need to analyze this. He gets it into the end zone, and now they'll try the onside kick and see what can happen. It's all kind of elementary at this point, but even with this, nobody feels good, and I've been a part of some games like this, and it's not good. But when you're supposed to be as good as the Eagles were supposed to be, these type of performances are demoralizing, and you just don't know if you're going to be able to come out of it and play at the level that you expect to, and that's going to be a challenge. It's going to be hard. Chip Kelly's got his work cut out for him this week to try to get this group going, and I don't know what the first steps are or what his approach is going to be. But he's going to earn every dollar he makes this week.
Here's a recap. Block punt. Early in this second half, it was McCray who blocked it. It was Kyle Wilbur who took it in for the touchdown. The big story is a broken left clavicle on that hit as Tony Romo lost the football in this second half. Brandon Wheaton is taking over. Then an interception on a throw by Bradford right into the gut of Sean Lee. And after getting a turnover themselves on the very next play, Bradford not ready for the snap, as it seemed to be snapped too early by Jason Kelsey, and the Eagles handed it right back. On the other side, the Cowboys, they're 1:21 away from victory. If they seal it, it's so costly. Losing Tony Romo, it almost feels like nobody wins coming out of here, except the Dallas Cowboys will be 2-0 going home to take on Atlanta.
That's fitting. Onside kick. Parkey can't even get it 10 yards.
That ball did not travel 10 yards. But it was recovered by Dallas nonetheless, and why not Sean Lee? I mean, he is everywhere. Jason Garrett now is going to have to ride his defense franchise high, a record. 18 penalties for Jason Garrett. Now we'll have to go home and devise a plan for Brandon Wheaton in this offense to try and beat a pretty surprising and dangerous Atlanta Falcons team. The Eagles found that out, and the Giants found that out today.
I think the Falcons, I think they're a good team. They're going to be in the hunt, certainly. They're pretty talented. The Cowboys have had 2 ugly wins, but they're 2-0. I guarantee you, if it's like this next week and they're walking off this field with a 3-0 record against Atlanta at home, Jason Garrett will be smiling like tonight.
So it's a division road win for the Dallas Cowboys here in Philadelphia. The injury for Romo. The questions to come for the Eagles. Not what DeMarco Murray and this offensive line had in mind in Murray's reunion against his former teammates. One more snap. That will do it officially, unless the Eagles want to call a timeout. They won't, and that's it. Final is 20-10. The Dallas Cowboys are 2-0. The Eagles are 0-2. And those who remain show their frustration with the home team here today. A lot more to come tonight on Fox. The Audi postgame and the Emmy Awards. Costly victory for the Dallas Cowboys as they win by 10. Back after this.